All right, now, according to some reports, my next guest is now, ABC among them, the frontrunner to become Donald Trump's running mate. Here to respond to that, more South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Senator, I'm sure you heard about it. I'm sure you read about it. Want to get your thoughts about it.
Well, Sean, there's no doubt that we need 4 more years of Donald Trump, and I will do everything in my power to make sure we get 4 more years of Donald Trump. It is the best outcome for all of America. Listening to your brilliant monologue reminds me of election engineering, whether it's the DNC, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, and CBS. They have become an extension of the liberal elite who are trying to have election engineering. They're trying to engineer an outcome. Listen, Sean, they have lost their minds because they're losing their voters. Bottom line is that we have to coalesce around Donald Trump so that we get 4 more years of low inflation, 4 more years of low unemployment, and frankly, a return to a fair and equal America. Everybody deserves the chance to succeed, but you got to work for it. And unfortunately, the liberal left, they are losing their minds because they're losing their voters. And thank God Almighty that Donald Trump has the backbone and the tenacity to stand in the fire, because if it's not him, it will be me and it will be you.
You know, we recently lost Joe Lieberman. I was friends with Joe Lieberman. I like Joe Lieberman. He was sort of like the canary in the coal mine. He was the vice presidential candidate for Democrats in 2000. Then the party threw him overboard, and he had to run as an independent to win back his seat in Connecticut, which he did so successfully. And what does it say about the Democratic Party today that they're so radicalized that either Joe Biden betrays Israel, as they were attacked? They were victims of terror, like we were victims of terror on 9/11/01. This is the worst terror attack in their history. Hamas started this. It was unprovoked. Israel rightly is trying to win their war on terror. Joe Biden is putting a knife in their back, trying to influence their elections.
Absolutely.
And he's put his own personal political ambition above fighting terrorists because of the pressure from within his party. What does that say about the party of Lieberman or the party of Scoop Jackson, if you want to go back even further? What has happened to this party that has become that radicalized that they're taking the side of radical terrorists over the right of a country to win a war against terrorists?
It's just disgusting. Senator Lieberman would be rolling over in his grave. Think about the fact that this administration told Israel on October the 7th, the day of the attacks, to stand down. Think about the fact that it's this administration that approved, green-lighted billions of dollars, $10 billion in November, $6 billion in August, green-lighting more money to actually fund Iranian proxies that are killing and targeting Americans. It's this administration that has allowed daylight between the United States of America and our greatest ally in the Middle East, Israel. I can't think of a greater dereliction of duty, save Afghanistan, when we lost 13 American soldiers, than what we're watching right now on display for every American to see. 90% of Americans actually agree with standing shoulder to shoulder with our ally Israel. We all know Psalms 122:6, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and those who do will prosper. This administration has lost its mind. This administration continues to prove that we are not loyal to our allies, and therefore we cannot be lethal to our adversaries. Hamas continues to grow because this administration put so many handcuffs on Netanyahu and Israel that the war continues to drag on. Give them the resources, the weaponry to finish this fight as quickly as possible, and that's how you save lives. You don't save lives by turning your back on your greatest ally in the Middle East.
All right. Let me ask you this. Based on tonight's report, have you had any conversation with President Trump about potentially being and running as his vice president? And if you were asked, what would you say?
There's no doubt that President Trump will make that decision, I believe, before the convention. I have not had any specific conversation with the president. I can tell you one thing, whatever it takes for President Donald Trump to have 4 more years, whatever it takes to restore sanity in the streets of America, count me in, Sean. You're a patriot. I'm a patriot. I love America. I'm not possible in any other country on the planet except for the city on the hill. That's America.
All right, the shining city on the hill. All right, great to see you. Senator Tim Scott, South Carolina. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.